Another exciting product in the sales kit is our Series 1560. The Series 1560 is a split-level recoiler that offers the same industry-leading features of the Series 1060, but in a form factor minimized split-level design. So let's take you through how you assemble the sales kit for the Series 1060. First, you'll find your display board. The display board that I'm using here is raised up, and partly for the video, it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. In your sales kit, it will actually be a box, and so it'll be finished on the side, but I thought it would be easier for you to see what we're doing here. So you'll locate your angled puck or stand, okay? You'll see you have this piece here, you'll need that. You'll locate your recoiler, okay? This is your under-table recoiler. This goes to your power connector, okay, here. And then, of course, you have the recoiler cable here, so you want to have that handy. Some of the additional parts that you'll need is to locate the adhesive for the bottom of the puck, and your assembly plate that fits on the bottom of the puck. And this has your studs that will be used to hold the stand to the recoiler. I know it looks like there's a lot going on here, but it's actually pretty intuitive and easy to do if you follow the instructions. Okay? So what we will start is we will locate our recoiler, okay? And let's go ahead and pull the recoiler cable through the hole in the board here, okay? And what we'll want to do then is make sure that you get this in the right order here. So you'll want to take your adhesive with the part that you're going to mount to the table down, okay? And you go ahead and put that down there so that it's ready when you're ready to use it, okay? And then this will go through the plate, okay? So you take your the bottom plate of your 1560 stand with the studs down, and you bring that through the plate, okay? So we're really just threading these things through just like a needle and thread, okay? So now we have it through the plate, and then we are going to run it through the base of the stand and then bring it up and bring it through. Now I've already taken it out, but on the sensor you'll see there's a little C-clip, okay? And when you receive this in your kit, it'll already be mounted to the optical sensor just like that, okay? So for the process of threading it through, you'll want to have it removed so that you can fit it through. So you bring this through, you take the threaded collar, you insert the threaded collar over the connector. Once you've brought it through the stand, the puck, and the threaded collar, you put the C-clip back on, and that keeps this whole thing from falling through, okay? So now you've successfully threaded the recoiler cable through the stand, through the adhesive, and through the bottom plate. You'll take the power connector, which is part of the angled puck, of course, and this has to also fish through. You'll notice on one side of this assembly there's a cable cut out that cable will fit through, okay? And you hold that back there, and it allows you to thread this through, okay? So you go ahead and pull that cable through. Okay, so now you've successfully have the recoiler cable through the adhesive, through the plate, through the stand. You've got the power cable from the stand through the plate. You're ready to actually screw down the bottom plate. There are 4 Phillips head screws that come with the stand and the plate. You use the Phillips head option on your multi-tool and just go ahead and cinch those down. It just takes a couple turns. That holds the whole assembly that we just put together nice and secure. There's one in each of the 4 corners. And you don't need to tighten it overly tight because this is going to again be protected with adhesive and bolted to the fixture. So don't worry about torquing it down really hard. You just want to make sure that it's held together securely. Okay, and that's the last of them right there. So now that we have that, we will, very important before you put the adhesive on, make sure that you also run that power cable through the adhesive. Okay, so now that you have your 2 studs, the recoiler cable, and your power cable through the adhesive, let's go ahead and time to remove the backing for that adhesive. And in this case, you'll want to tear an end of it because you've already threaded cables through. Okay, and what you want to do is just line this up with, I'm trying to do this so you can see it here, but we line that up with the stand carefully. Okay, so now you have that in place, and then you'll run the power connector through there. Let's go ahead and just take that off. Once again, you'll want to break through that. Okay, and so you run both cables and the studs through the stand, and center that and mount it down. Okay, so now you've successfully mounted the stand to your display table. Now let's go ahead and mount the recoiler. So we're going to turn the stand over. It's a lot less complicated now that you've dealt with the cables and the studs. You'll see the bottom of the recoiler that matches the stand has these rubber pads here, and then there's 2 holes for the studs. Okay, so there's no adhesive because you're going to screw this together and hold it. So what you want to do is take your power cable and pull your power cable through here in between those 2 studs. When we mount the recoiler, it's important to make sure that we have the cable free pulling through the hole. So you want to make sure that when you mount the recoiler through the 2 studs and pull it on, just double check to make sure that you have free play in your recoiler and that you haven't pinched the cable, or otherwise you'll put it all together and have to take it apart and troubleshoot it. An ounce of prevention in the beginning of the process will save you a lot of time later. So once you have that, you just go ahead and screw these together. Okay. So now we've installed the recoiler. It's nice and secure. We have the power connector. This plugs into the recoiler. So we turn this around, and you'll see on the back of the recoiler there is a connector here. Okay, so this basically plugs into that. Okay, and once you have that installed, now you have a connection from the top of the stand electrically to the recoiler, and then from the recoiler out to your power supply with our 5-pin power connector. So we'll go ahead and turn this around. Your sales kits came with a InView PS 530. This is our 5.3 volt 3 amp power supply. You just plug those together and then plug this into your AC socket on your wall. Okay. Now you have a completed stand, and it's time to go ahead and mount the phone. So in this case, we're going to first show you how to install an iPhone, and we have a couple of different sensor options. The sensors for the Series 1560 are the same as the sensors for the Series 1060. So we have a Lightning connector for iPhones, we have a micro USB connector for Android-based phones, and we have a USB Type-C connector, which is increasingly being found in Android phones as well. So we offer them with a straight cable for handhelds. We also offer these sensors with a coiled cable for tablets. So if you have a longer tablet, say 10 inches, 12 inches, or even 14 inches, you can use the tablet sensor and have the appropriate amount of pull to stretch the cable to the power connector. So in this case, you'll see this is the Apple Lightning sensor, and I have an iPhone here that I'm going to mount. In this case, because I'm also going to show you how to install bracket arms, I've gone ahead and removed the adhesive, which is normally on here, because you'll need to have that adhesive removed when you apply the brackets. But normally when you open it up out of the bag, there'll be a shiny black adhesive on here. Okay, and that's fine. If you're not using bracket arms, you go directly to peeling off that adhesive and mounting it on the phone. For now, because I'm going to show it to you both ways, I'm going to take a shortcut, and I'm just going to put a small piece of adhesive on there right now. So we will take your iPhone and we will plug in the Apple Lightning connector to the base, and we will line up the sensor in the middle of the phone and go ahead and mount that. We will take the recoiler, and the recoiler comes with a lockdown feature. The next step would be to attach the sensor to the stand and the recoiler. So what we'll want to do in this case is we will pull the recoiler cable out. We'll plug that optical sensor into the base of the sensor, and we will turn it clockwise, and that will secure it in position. Now that we've mounted the sensor to the phone, you can see that the gold is good LED is illuminated on the sensor. That tells you that the stand is receiving both power and security. And you see on the side there's also the gold is good LED underneath the IR port. That tells you the same thing, that at a quick glance that everything is fine. You see the gold, you know everything is good. So at this point I'm going to demonstrate how to uninstall the sensor and show you how to attach the bracket arms. So the first thing we'll want to do, of course, is deactivate the alarm. And as I indicated to you, I just use a little dab of adhesive on this one. So we'll go ahead and just take that off, and we'll clean that up. And we'll walk you through the procedures for mounting the security arms and brackets on the phone itself. Okay, so in this case what you want to do is locate the arms plate and the arm bracket that comes with the sensor. Once again, this is common to both the S1060 and the S1560. Okay, and in this case what we will want to do is these are already in there. When you remove it out of your bag, these could be inside there or they could be floating loose in the bag, but you see there's two Phillips head screws there. You just loosen those up and it allows you to take the arms out. These arms work the same way as our Series 950 arms. They're fully adjustable in terms of Z height. Okay? They use a T20 bit on the bottom. So with your multi-tool and your T20 bit, you have the ability to go in and adjust the Z height and get that set appropriately for the phone that you'll be displaying. So what you'll want to do is take your arms bracket and you'll locate the bottom part with the yellow plunger. Okay, you'll want that bottom part with the yellow plunger oriented down toward where the data connector, in this case since it's an iPhone, the Lightning connector is on the phone. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove the adhesive, and we will center mount the plate. Okay, so we have that plate center mounted on the phone. We will take our arms and we will mount them from the side, slide them in the slot. We'll take this one and we will slide it in this slot here. Okay, and I've already adjusted the Z height of the arms, and so they slid pretty easily. You'll want to do that yourself. Take the arms out and dry fit it. Make sure that you have something that is fairly close to the right fit. So once you have those secure, you'll take your Phillips head bit on your multi-tool and go ahead and tighten that down. Okay. And in this case, you want to make sure that you have it nice and snug. Okay. And then we'll take our T20 tool from our multi-bit, and we will go ahead and tighten the arms or the hands of the bracket down. And you just use your T20 bit and you turn it clockwise, and that will tighten the hands down. So now you've got a nice solid fit on your arms. It's secure to the phone. It's tight enough to hold it in place, but not so tight that you're pinching the phone and potentially causing damage to the screen. You just really need it to be snug there. Now that you have that put together, you will want to bring this up to the phone itself. You take the sensor, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the sensor. Okay. So you can take your iPhone and you can plug this in to the bottom. Okay. you line up the two yellow plunger dots there, bring those together, and just basically line it up. And you'll notice that on the sensor there are two holes for two screws. Okay, so once we have that tightened down, you've got a nice solid fit between your sensor and your arms bracket, and you have your sensor plugged in. Everything is secure. We'll go ahead and connect this to the Series 1560 puck. So you pull the recoiler cable out, you take this optical connector, you plug it into the hole there, you bring your collar up and just turn it clockwise. You got a nice good fit. Series 1560 features a dual alarm system. There is an alarm located in the stand which sounds at a very loud 105 dB. There is also alarm on merchandise in the sensor which sounds at 100 dB. So if a thief were to break the cable or cut the cable, the alarm would sound in both locations. The alarm on the merchandise provides an added theft deterrence. Our research and experience with retailers show that thieves, when they pull this, don't realize the alarm will be following them out through the store and out down the street. And typically they're very surprised and oftentimes will just drop the product and run. So that provides an added layer of theft protection. In addition to that, we do have the lockdown feature, which is again located on the side of the stand, and it works just like the Series 1060. You bring your multi-tool in here, it's a T20, you turn it a quarter turn, and that will hold the sensor down and keep it locked into place. And then of course you take your T20 tool or your fob tool and turn it a quarter turn counterclockwise, and that will release it from its hold. Now, one of the really great value points of the Series 1560 and the Series 1060 is the ability to leverage this powerful new feature that we've included in the stand, which is our powered auxiliary alarm port. Okay, so this is a micro USB port, and it works very similar to our Zips power solution. It provides 5 volts up to 500 milliamps of power to a powered accessory. In addition, providing alarming security for that powered accessory as well. This has a value to our retailer of $30 to $40, but it's fully integrated in the stand. It comes with the Series 1560, and it's really a feature that none of our competitors offer today, so it's a really strong value point and selling point. And we encourage you in every presentation to demonstrate the powered accessory port. I'm going to show you 2 examples today. In your sales kit, you will have received a design for purpose headphone stand, and this could be used to co-merchandise headphones along with the Series 1560. Of course, the stand you have in your kit is a little bit larger and will allow you to place both the 1560 and the headphones on the same presentation board. In this case, for headphones, we use a adjustable locking noose sensor. This is a standard part of our Zips 2.0 product line. I'm not going to demonstrate how that goes on because I think all of you are probably pretty familiar with that already. So once you've installed your Zips 2.0, you take the micro USB connector, you locate the aux port in the back, and you plug it in, and now you have alarming security for the headphones. So if a thief were going to try to steal that, the alarm of course would go off on the base here. But the really great thing is retailers have the opportunity now to demonstrate a smartphone or tablet alongside headphones, which are a very rapidly growing and popular SKU at retail. So this allows the customers to try the headphone on, to experience the quality and performance of the headphones, and also to experience the audio playback capability of the phone. And research has shown that when you co-merchandise both and show how they work together, it increases both the sale of the pod as well as the sale of the accessory. So in addition to the locking noose, which can be used to merchandise headphones, we also have other sensors. In your sales kit, we have provided you with an example of a alarm and power micro USB cable. One end of this cable can be used to plug into a powered accessory with a micro USB port. In this case, we've provided you with a wireless Bluetooth speaker, and you can see that it does have a micro USB port for power. So you can basically plug the sensor into the wireless Bluetooth speaker, and then you take the other end, which has this raised ridge on the sensor, and this end plugs into the powered aux port of the Series 1560. And you hear that beep, and that's your confirmation that you're receiving power as well as alarm protection for both the iPhone that's on display with the Series 1560, as well as the Bluetooth speaker box. Okay, and this again gives you the ability to show a very popular SKU at retail, co-merchandised with a smartphone in the same manner that many consumers will use it in their personal life. And this is a very powerful selling tool for our retail partners. And once again, this is a feature that's not offered by our competition. So we encourage you, whenever you show the 1560, to show this functionality. Remerchandising the Series 1560 and changing from a standard sensor to another product, or perhaps changing to brackets, is fairly straightforward and easy. You've just got to remember a couple simple steps. First, always remember to disarm the base position so you don't deal with the alarm. So go ahead and unplug the sensor. We have this unique tool that came into your sales kit. Okay, this is our sensor removal tool. And you see two posts. Okay, those posts line up with holes on either end of your sensor. Okay, you just mount that in there. Okay, and then you take your multi-tool with your standard sensor removal tool, and once you have that in place there, you can just now twist, and it will allow you to break the bond of the adhesive and remove it. Okay, and it's just that easy. And because, as you know, InView always uses a high quality 3M adhesive, there's no goo or residue left. It's easy to get off, and the phone can actually be remerchandised. In some cases, our retailers like to sell the phones after they've been on display, and so that's one of the advantages of the techniques that we have for removing the sensors and the high quality adhesives that we use. It allows you to remove those without damaging the phone, so the phone can be in turn resold to the customer.